And you hear the adulation that they crave wherever Trump goes.
Thank you very much.
I think you are jealous. You can't get that level of attention. None of the Democrat Party can get this level of support and attention and attendees at any of their rallies. It can't happen. No. I think there's some jealousy going on here.
Oh, there's huge jealousy going on.
Trump's rallies are massive, boys. Oh boy, are you ready for this? Oh man, this video had my head spin last night.
Donald Trump doesn't need to ask for forgiveness, and that's because his party and his voters give him permission every single time. Now, Trump again leaned in, all the way in, playing to the worst fears embedded in this country's history of Black and brown people polluting the nation.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa, from Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country. Nobody's even looking at them. They just come in. The crime is going to be tremendous.
Yes, you've heard it before, and Trump is saying it again and again. He's borrowing their language from authoritarians past, specifically Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini, using it to demonize.
For crying out loud.
Lately, Abby Phillips has been on our channels, on our YouTube channel, for all the wrong reasons.
And here she is again.
Here comes Abby. Come on, Abby. Cry victimhood, please. Abby, stop. Like, it's not.
Stop, girl.
That's not what he was talking about. He's talking about illegal immigration and the problem it produces in the country. That's not something you can lie about. It's not about the skin color of the individuals, Abby. Abby, look at the heart of the matter. Stop getting caught up in words, Abby. Grow up, Abby.
Stop. My word.
And this is the problem we're talking about. She's not even looking at the actual issue that he was addressing. And I didn't even hear the whole speech. I only heard part of the speech, and I know what Trump was actually saying.
I know, right? Even just that short clip, I can gather what he was talking about.
I can pick up on that. But you know how they do, taking things out of context. She only played not even 3 minutes of his speech. No, just that little segment here. She wants to have a 9 minutes talk about white supremacists and Adolf Hitler. Like it's almost like these people are saying Trump sits here and reading carefully, trying to pattern his life after Adolf Hitler. Like, you think Trump really sits at home reading stuff about Adolf Hitler in that way? Like, it's not even. I don't even think that's the thing Trump even cares about. But anyway,
real quick before you start up again, Jamie, have a good day. We'll hope.
Take care, Jamie.
We'll hope keep you in our prayers.
Thank you.
Specifically Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini, using it to demonize immigrants in the present. Now, this is not a slip of a tongue. It's not just loose talk. This time, the rhetoric is accompanied by plans: mass deportations, massive immigration camps, purges of disloyal government workers. And already, the GOP has deployed varying manners and methods of saying that Trump's remarks are really nothing to see, from trying to tell you what he really meant.
They wanted to focus all the Sunday shows, Lawrence, on the word he used, poison. He was just trying to say, we want to keep America, America. We want to build up the border and find out who's coming in and out. And they tried to say that this language was the problem.
To assuring you that he really didn't know what he was saying at all.
I think it's highly unlikely that Donald Trump's ever read Mein Kampf. I think the reality is what we have is that the left continues to attack him for something outrageous he says, but it continues to drive the issue back to border security, which is what he wants to be talking about.
To admitting that, frankly, no one gives a damn.
Are you comfortable with him using words like that?
You know, we're talking about language. I could care less what language people use as long as we get it right. If the only thing you want to talk about on immigration is the way Donald Trump talks, you're missing a lot.
I'm not even a fan of that guy. Such a warhead, but he's right.
At least he's right on that point.
Yeah, all the videos she shows, their points is actually correct.
Yeah.
She's actually
she's trying to make a disconnect.
Yeah, she's debunking her own argument here.
Exactly. It's like
you're using all the wrong claims.
So ignorant to debunk your own point with the clips you're showing.
The clips you are showing definitely add context to what Trump is saying, because it's kind of like there's two ways you can read scripture, and you can look at holistic, or you can get into the minutia. You can look at the little details, or you can look at the overarching theme. What she's doing is she's getting caught up in the details.
She can't see the forest through the tree.
She cannot see the forest through the tree. And when you have that kind of perspective, it's very, very difficult to understand the nature of the message.
And not only that, but the way she's talking, you can tell she doesn't even believe her own rhetoric.
Yeah, she's having a hard time. But again, she has her script laid in front of her, as you can tell. She's just following the script,
She's like choking on her words, trying to get them out.
Yeah. Poor girl. I mean, what have they done to you?
There is a very real political argument that some Republicans are making here, and that is that American voters have so much on their minds that they can't even bother, or they don't have the bandwidth to measure what Trump says versus what they need in their life.
Exactly.
Oh, come on.
You're right about that. No, we're not like you guys. It's not like we don't care about what he says. We're not tripping and having a whole entire video, a whole segment recorded over a little bit of Trump word when there are real issues that we should be talking about. Guess what? You're kind of right about that. And that also shares the spotlight about the way you guys reporting the news. Because there are real issues you don't care about, but you want us to worry about Trump's way of saying certain things when the real problems that he was addressing in the video you've neglected. So that's why I've entitled this video "The Enemy of the People." You don't care about us, because what you care about is what you want us to care about when it comes to Trump. You want us to feel the same way you
care about the narrative that they're pushing.
Yeah, it's all about the narrative. It's all about the rhetoric. But the truth is, what was the heart of the message of the man? Let's talk about that. No, that's not the point.
The heart of the message, pardon me, but the heart of the matter is the fact that these illegal immigrants coming over the border are causing huge issues for everyday Americans.
Exactly.
And putting a strain on our economy. They're putting a strain on our healthcare system. They're putting a strain on every system that we have in place. And nobody's doing a darn thing about it.
Yeah. Where is the lie? Where is the lie in what Darth Vader just said here? No detected.
Lives right now.
You guys are exhausting. You're exhausting in your obsession with him. The thing is, the normal people aren't obsessed with Trump like you guys are. The normal people care about the fact that they can't afford things. They feel like their freedoms are being taken away.
There is some truth.
There's a lot more truth, not just some truth. There's a lot of truth.
Even Nikki Haley is correct. This is when you know he's really bad. And she's not even a person that I will speak in a positive way about. I think she's sold out to the system. But nevertheless, even she got it right. You guys are obsessed.
I mean, come on. Talk about ultimate TDS.
Yeah, when are you guys going to learn? Like, the more you go after Trump in the way that you are, the stronger he becomes. He feeds of your attention you're giving him.
You're just inflating him.
Yeah.
He's just like a giant blow-up dude. And you're just hitting that pump and just pumping away.
Yeah. But I think also they love themselves some Trump because he's good for content. The only videos on some of these people.
I mean, a lot of people despise them for their coverage of them because of the fact that they don't do a fair and accurate job.
Yeah. But they love covering Trump because they get viewership. They
no,
get not
actually,
only
they've lost a lot of viewership because of their coverage
really.
of Trump. Yeah,
Yeah, but
their
I noticed
numbers are down.
in some of their videos, they will get like millions of views when it's about Trump. So I think people are coming in, even though people are upset, but they're watching the rhetoric and criticize it. So I guess some videos they're getting views as a result of that. But you also losing credibility though. I think that's what's happening. People are not subscribing. I've
Oh yeah,
unsubscribed from
they've
CNN.
lost all
Yeah,
credibility.
you're losing credibility, getting a lot of thumbs down. So you might be getting viewership. That doesn't necessarily mean you're getting people who are sticking with you. So they kind of like, hey, you know what? You a joke. I'm out. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of pathetic. They still haven't learned. It's been like how many years now? Like Trump, something about Trump. The more you talk about him, the stronger he becomes. And they still don't
He's
seem
like
to
the Incredible
understand
Hulk.
this.
The more
He
you pick
is.
him up, the stronger he gets.
Yes, he is. But oh my Lord. Anyway, she's gonna get debunked because she's gonna bring, I think, a senator from New York, a governor from New York. I'm not sure. Anyway, you're gonna see how she gets checked.
To what she's saying there, for the most part, Republican voters are ignoring Trump's most outrageous campaign promises. And in fact, they may even like it. You see that reflected in the polls. In Iowa, for example, likely Republican caucus goers say that some of Trump's most authoritarian-inspired solutions and statements make them actually more likely to support him. Sweeping raids, giant camps, mass deportations, well, 50% support that. Root out the vermin, 43%. Support that. Immigrants are poisoning the blood of America, 42%. And you hear it, the adulation of authoritarian.
I mean, I thought these numbers were low. I thought these numbers were low.
That was just one state.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
that was Iowa.
So this wasn't in a general sense. Okay.
No, that was just one state.
All right.
So I mean, you know, and like I said what I said earlier. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
And you hear the adulation that they crave wherever Trump goes.
Thank you very much.
I think you are jealous. You can't get that level of attention. None of the Democrat Party can get this level of support and attention and attendees at any of their rallies. It can't happen. No. I think there's some jealousy going on here.
Oh, there's huge jealousy going on.
Trump's rallies are massive, boy. Superstar, rock and roll kind of stuff.
Like,
you know,
they have Trump rallies. Trump rallies have more people in attendance than CNN has viewers.
Wow. That means they take flights, they drive, they are intentional about getting an attendant.
I know
they can go on their phone and attend your show. They don't even bother doing that.
I know some people who actually have been following him around the country since he started his campaign.
And that's something. Like, they're not crazy. They know what they're supporting. They really believe. They see the vision and they understand the dream. And you like to make them look like they are some crazy lunatics who are doing this to Trump. No, maybe you should pause and figure out what is it about Trump that they love so much. That should be the question instead of attacking the people themselves.
Instead of demonizing the man and his base.
It's just
what is it about him that makes him so charismatic and why people like him so much?
Why do people like him? Why are Black people supporting Trump? Why are Latinos supporting Trump?
Yeah.
We even have like Asians now that are supporting Trump. Trump is becoming an international figure all over the place. And you guys have demonized Trump, spoke about Trump, indicted Trump, called him all type of names.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you do, he's getting a larger support. The polls numbers are up to the roof. Biden is trailing in the poll. Why is this going on?
You know what? Actually, no. Go ahead. Please keep going after Trump.
You're only making them stronger. Please. Because you are simply helping the MAGA movement to only get better. You're only helping them. Thank you.
Thank you for
And joining me now is Republican Congresswoman from New York, Nicole Malliotakis. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. Look, I'll start off by simply asking, is Trump right that immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country.
Well, I don't think that's what he was saying. When he said they are poisoning, I think he was talking about the Democratic policies. I think he was talking about the open border policy. And if you look at what our mayor here in New York City is saying, that this migrant crisis is destroying New York City, I think it's pretty much the same thing. What we're trying to say here is that we need to have secure borders. You know what's actually poisoning America is the amount of fentanyl that's coming over our open border. And so this is a really serious issue. And I think that that's what he's talking about, that the open borders are unsafe, that it's unsustainable, it's bankrupting cities like ours. And we need to address it.
Congresswoman, you're saying that's what you think he's saying, but he was pretty clear. He was saying that the immigrants who are coming in, he says they're poisoning the blood of the nation. He says
never said immigrants are poisoning, though.
He's talking about people coming
I
across
honestly
the
think it
border
was
in
being.
the quote we just played it.
Yeah, and he said he didn't say the words
they're bringing the
immigrants. I think he was
fentanyl with
talking about
them.
Go ahead.
They are bringing the fentanyl with them over the border. They're bringing the drugs with them over the border.
Yeah.
Hence poisoning.
Exactly.
Duh.
There's nothing difficult about that. I mean,
it doesn't take rocket science to figure that out.
No. Of course, if they are bringing the problems to your country, well,
Abby,
therefore they are poisoning the country. It's that simple.
Abby, sweetie.
Now, even if it wasn't making reference to the people, even if he had made reference to the people themselves, he would still be right.
Right.
Because it's not like we don't have to demonize the people. If you got a bunch of if a bunch of gangsters move in your neighborhood and they are troubling your neighborhood, is it wrong for you to say these gangsters are troublers in my neighborhood? Because they are. They are. The neighborhood wasn't in that condition before they moved in. There's been many cases when a bunch of people moved in. There's been cases people in New York, they moved into PA, certain areas of PA. People got to move out. There's been time we have to say, family, we got to go. We have to go.
Time to bounce.
Time to bounce because they took over. And okay, you can have it. I'll drive by. I'll take the highway or something. But we're not staying and raising our families there, knowing that you guys are gonna go acting crazy.
And I just gotta say, it's like Abby, please, listen.
Abby's desperate. She's so desperate.
Stop being so obtuse.
But it's her job. She has a script. She has to get through the script. So, yeah. Oh, poor thing.
Democratic policies.
He was talking about people. Okay,
well, look,
not policies.
I don't.
He was talking about people.
Look, I know that some are trying to make it seem like President Trump is anti-immigrant. The reality is, he was married to immigrants. He's hired immigrants. I mean, he's not.
He was talking about people coming across the border. He was saying
they're coming over the border.
He was saying that they were bringing crime. They were bringing, violence with them when they came into the country. So, well, you agree that he's talking about immigrants.
Well, no, but the thing is that our open borders is unsafe and unsustainable. We know that the drug cartels are bringing in and setting up operations selling fentanyl and other drugs to the point where over 100,000 Americans have died. We know that there is crime taking place. And that's not to say that all immigrants are bad. My parents are immigrants. I represent a community full of immigrants. But what I will tell you from the immigrants that I know is that they're very upset by the lack of order that we're seeing at the border.
And look, we've talked to you actually about your background, your immigrant history. I have immigrant history too. So we share that.
Yeah, Abby, you have a good way of kind of not engaging with the argument that I made. You have a good way of ignoring the facts. And every time I listen to her and many CNN pundits, they do this. It's kind of like when the argument is presented, the facts are given. It's addressed. He just moves into the next subject.
Exactly.
It's like it's
okay. Like, really, you just stop trying to dodge the question. Stop trying to dodge the point. Face it, and get to the meat of the root of the problem. Yeah, like you're trying to dodge and weave and get around what she's saying because she's right.
She is right, and they can't seem to handle that.
Dang,
that's the problem.
It's exactly your immigrant history. I have immigrant history too, so we share that. Exactly, we all do. But let's talk for a second here about the fact that Trump continuously, repeatedly uses this rhetoric that now maybe you could say the first time he didn't know.
She already answered that question. Why are you asking it again?
Because she wants that gotcha moment.
It's like she already addressed it from the beginning. Anyway, let's keep going.
The references, the parallels to authoritarians, he knows now. Why does he keep saying it over and over again?
Well, look, I just think he's trying to bring attention to the issue.
He's using the rhetoric of authoritarians to bring attention to this issue.
I think what the important thing is...
You see what she just did here? I can't stand the media. She framed the question in a way, if you don't shut down her framing, you in part agree. So she says she's using authoritarian language.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading question.
Yeah. Look what she did. Let's watch this again. It's pretty amazing.
Over and over again. You know, the references, the parallels to authoritarians, he knows now. Why does he keep saying it over and over again?
You see what she did? So she said, Trump knows he's using references that are authoritarian, and he knows that now. Why does he keep using them over and over again? So what she just did here, she put a question in a sense, she put a part of the question in parentheses. Automatically, she put it against you as if you already agree with her framing. So the framing is already wrong. And then she asks a question, and it's kind of like if you go after and answer the question, in part, you agree with her framing. So she gets you. And I think that's
depending on how you answer the question.
Yeah, it depends on how you answer that. But what you need to do is actually address the framing. You have to actually debunk the framing itself, or you can completely ignore both the question and the framing to avoid this. She's like laying a trap here. And I think you notice what she's gonna do next. She's gonna actually say, so you're saying Trump is using this and this to do this and that? It's almost like it's because she didn't address the framing. Watch what she does. I'll pick up on that.
Well, look, I just think he's trying to bring attention to the issue.
He's using the rhetoric of authoritarians to bring attention to this issue.
I think
you see it? You see what she just did?
She said, that's you.
Yeah, she said, you're using the rhetoric of authoritarian to bring attention to the issue. Why? Because the Congresswoman didn't tear down the framing of the question. So in other words, the Congresswoman in part agreed with the framing.
No. The Congresswoman said that when the Congresswoman started talking, she initially said, that's you.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, no, great. But she ignores that too, but she's applying at least that the Congresswoman agree with the framing, which is like, no, I never said that. That's what you said.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy how this stuff goes, man.
Keep saying it over and over again.
Well, look, I just think he's trying to bring attention to the issue.
He's using the rhetoric of authoritarians to bring attention to this issue.
I think what the important thing is we need to pay attention to this issue. I mean, look, let's admit what's going on here in this country. We have drug cartels that are running our southern border. We have the women and children, by the way, who are coming over the border. How many of them are being raped along the journey? Doctors Without Borders even put out a report saying between Colombia and Panama, there were 400 children and women that they treated who were being raped. Every single person coming over that border is paying the drug cartels thousands of dollars to get here. What are they doing with that money? They are in turn selling drugs. The drug cartels, right, are setting up operations here. We know the gangs are here. We know this is all happening. If you talk to the Drug Enforcement Administration, if you talk to law enforcement, it's happening. So, I mean, let's differentiate between legal immigration and illegal immigration and admit that this open border is a major problem for this country, and it's unsustainable. It's costing our taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Here in New York City, we're going bankrupt with the cities that across the board.
I don't disagree with what you're saying about the policy, and I think that's actually really.
But that's what we have to focus on. I mean, we make different.
I think it's really important.
Hold on.
The policy that you're talking about.
If you don't disagree with the policy, then why are you arguing against what Trump is saying? What's the whole purpose of this segment then?
Because his remark is based on the result of the policies.
Exactly.
So if the policies are wrong, well, let's talk about the nature of the policies themselves, not so much the remarks that were made about the policies. My Lord, it's not that difficult.
She just debunked her own argument
She
again.
just did. She did.
This is the second time in this single segment that she debunked her own argument.
Yeah, yeah. And she's arguing with the fact that Trump does have a reason for saying the things he's saying because of the policies that has resulted in open borders and all this stuff, which is poisoning the blood of this country. That's a fact. So you agreed with the policy that it is a problem, but you disagree with the fact Trump said it.
Yeah.
What? Like, what kind of rhetoric is this?
She's shooting.
Which one is
she's
it?
trying to shoot the messenger. Is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. And again, that's the problem. Even though she says, I agree, it's more like not even a high five, a low five, only to get back to the point that she was trying to make, which is Trump rhetoric is
the problem.
Authoritarian. Yeah. That's the rhetoric she wants to push.
I agree. Look, I think it's really important, the policy that you're talking about. I think you would agree that that is probably what lawmakers like you want to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is using the rhetoric of Hitler and Mussolini.
So she validates only to get to where she's wanted to get to, is that Trump. Wait, do you care about the lives that were lost? Do you care about the facts that were mentioned in the video here? Do you care about the condition of our society? Care about our open border policy? Do you care about the drugs that are destroying the country?
No.
I agree. But let's talk about Trump.
and look at the tag. Look at the tag at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. GOP defends, downplays, dismisses Trump.
It's like, no, that's not what we're doing at all.
You're talking about
concerned about the bigger picture.
Yeah, that tells you everything they want to tell you. Yeah, that tells you everything. You know, this is why videos having channels like this is significant, because people are watching this and like, wait, that's not what the lady was doing. She wasn't downplaying Trump's rhetoric. She was addressing the heart of the message that Trump had to share.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. You looking at a few words from Trump. She's saying, no, look at the broader context of man's message. That's what she's simply doing.
Exactly.
Oh, my Lord, these people are ridiculous, boy.
To make a point about people coming across the border illegally. Don't you think that's a bit of a distraction?
I disagree. I disagree with what you're saying. I just fundamentally disagree. I think what he was saying is that the Democratic policies, the policies of this administration that have allowed millions.
This is good, though. You see what she just did? She had to clearly say, I disagree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
For her not to do that, because the way she's framing her question, she's kind of like tying you up. And now here, look at this. They put up a quote. All great cultures of the past only because the original. Okay, all great cultures of the past perish only because the originality. Oh my Lord, I can't even speak. The originally creative race die out from blood poisoning. Okay.
Now,
Immigration or poisoning the blood of our country.
Now, keep in mind when Adolf Hitler was talking about this in Mein Kampf, he was talking about eugenics.
Yeah, that's a whole nother angle. Not exactly the same thing.
That's a whole separate category.
Oh, yeah. Hitler took this to a whole nother level. That's not what Trump is doing here.
No.
Trump is not advocating for that. And the other issue is, they were not really. Now you can talk about the race, but they were not doing exactly what the immigrants are doing. The illegal immigrants are doing in this country. You know, so Hitler had a whole nother perspective, approach, motive, hatred in his heart toward the Jews. It's not like the Jews were going around doing certain things. I mean, I'm sure there were things happening then he didn't agree with. I don't want to get too deep into that. But what's happening with the illegal immigration problem today in this country in comparison to what was happening with the Jews even the nature and the foundation of the statement, the context is not even aligning. But they want us to think that these are perfectly aligned.
Well, that's the thing is back then the Jews were already living in Germany. They were already there and established, and they were in positions of like lawyers and doctors and judges and all this other stuff.
Bankers as well.
So, I mean, you know, they were already established in the country. They weren't coming in as immigrants.
Yep, huge difference. They were already paying into the system and building and so on.
And they were a part of the society.
Yeah.
Whereas we have illegal immigrants coming over our border who aren't paying into the system.
Nope.
They're being a burden on the system.
Absolutely.
They're taxing our system.
Yep.
And putting pressure on every aspect of the system that can possibly be.
Yeah.
And that's what is the problem. And that's what Trump's addressing.
That's a huge difference here. By the way, we have 16 people watching from Rumble. I want to acknowledge you, the Rumble followers here. We are watching you guys. We are listening to you as well.
Welcome, Rumblers.
All right, let's keep going.
Millions of people, including, remember, we caught people on the terror watch list. That should be concerning to us in New York City in a post 9/11 world. I mean, we have to be serious about what's going on. And you have 1.7 million people who are completely accounted for. And the policies, by the way, of this president, I would argue, of President Biden, are the ones that are anti-immigrant. Let me explain why. We have people who are waiting years in line. They've come the right way. They did everything right. They applied. They've been waiting for years to get an asylum date or whatever. And they're being cut now by these individuals that have paid the drug cartels to come over the southern border. They're prioritizing this administration.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you the same is true for my father's wife. She's still waiting. She can't get a call. She's waiting for a call. And we have other people that are just coming through, just like that. It's like she paid thousands. We paid thousands of dollars to get all the paperwork done, blood tests, everything's done. They waiting to get a call. We haven't gotten a call, and we've been waiting for 5 years.
And that's the problem with these policies is that you got so many illegals coming over. It clogs up the chain for those who want to come here legally.
Yeah. The lady is ready to work. She's a hard worker. And I got a younger brother who's ready to come. My dad has another son. And the guy is already in college. He's studying to be a doctor. Very intelligent kid. He just wants to come and finish his degree over here. It's not happening. But we have people that are coming in just become a burden on the system. Trump has every right to say what he said.
And you know what? They're going to try to push them off as long as they can because they can't have people like that in the society because they'll be productive. They'll be hardworking people. They'll be the type of people that we want in America.
Yep.
They're not going to be easily manipulated. They're not going to be easily replaced.
Nope. That's a problem. They don't want those kind of people around here. They want sheep, not the sheep from the Christian perspective, but sheep from a political perspective to follow whatever they're all told to do. That's a problem.
That have paid the drug cartels to come over the southern border. They're prioritizing this administration. The people have come over the southern border ahead of the people who have been waiting for years. I know this because I have casework in my office where I'm dealing with this regularly.
Done a lot of work on that. I want to ask you about something else that former President Trump was talking about recently. He said this, take a listen, in New Hampshire.
Vladimir Putin of Russia says that Biden's, and this is a quote, politically motivated persecution of his political rival is very good for Russia because it shows the rottenness of the American political system, which cannot pretend to teach others about democracy.
Facts.
He's not wrong.
Facts. If we are persecuting the guy who is leading in the polls, and then we want to go to other nations and trying to indoctrinate them about democracy, it's like, wait a minute, you guys are tyrannical. You guys are authoritarian. What he said is true. But I'm sure she's going to put a spin on that. She's going to put a spin on that.
And real quick, I just want to note that when she mentioned the Republican here mentioned about, what I said about legal immigrants coming over versus illegal immigrants, Abby just completely glossed over it.
Absolutely.
She did not address that at all.
Not even. And that's why I told you they like to deflect and neglect from anything that is factual. Because she has a script to get into. She has a script. Oh my Lord.
She's just a marionette.
What do you make of that? Do you agree with Putin's point there that Trump was quoting?
No, I don't even know what it was about, quite frankly. I honestly don't know. You don't play the whole thing, so it's hard for me to say.
Exactly. I don't even know what this was about. Oh, these people, man.
Sweeping raids, giant...
Well, anyway, do you have any thought and perspective on this? I don't know. It's kind of like messy.
CNN's garbage.
They are.